Hello, students. After the initial lecture about the design of election commission, the debates in Constant Assembly, now we will discuss about the role and the functions of election commission. This will be divided into three important parts that include constitutional provisions, then how do we ensure independence of, and thirdly the role and the functions of election commission, and we'll try to discuss about different challenges which is being faced by election commission during performance of these functions. So let's start with the constitutional provisions. So in constitutions there are different provisions which talks about the functions of election commission and about election commission role. The prominent articles starts from article 324 to article 329, which is in part 15th of the constitution, that deals with the electoral system and different dimensions of election commission. Then there are articles from 54 to 71, which primarily talks about different modes which have been designed with regard to presidential and vice presidential election. Article 168 to 93 discuss about primarily the composition and the electoral basis of the state legislature. Besides these provisions in the constitution, there are different acts of the parliament which has strengthened the position of election commission in performance of several duties. Like we have Representation of People Act 1950 and 51, which provides the detailed provision with regard to delimitation of constituencies. Then it also talks about administrative details of the electoral process and provide a broader basis of election system. Now secondly, now we'll discuss about independence of election commission. How do you provide autonomy to this very institution which performs a very important role? Now talking about independence of election commission, article 324 of the constitution has made several provisions that safeguards the interest and ensures that the commission remains an independent and autonomous body. So there are some of the important elements that have been provided to ensure that there is independence of election commission. Starting from security of tenure, the chief election commissioner is provided with security of tenure. Uh, they can hold office for a term of 6 years or until they attain the age of 65 years, whichever is earlier. They can resign at any time or can be removed before the expiry of the term. But the removal process also ensures the autonomy of a particular election commissioner. Now, he can be removed at the same fashion, same manner, and on the same ground as the judges of Supreme Court. So, the ground on which they are removed primarily is on the matter of incapacity and misbehavior, and the way in which they can be removed by president on the basis of a resolution which is passed by both the houses of parliament with special majority. Then thirdly, the service condition of chief election commissioner cannot be varied once he is appointed on that particular post. Then, besides this, any other election commissioner or a regional commissioner cannot be removed from the office except on the recommendation of the chief election commissioner. So, these are some of the safeguards which is provided to the election commission. Now, there are certain problematic aspect that comes with regard to the design of election commission. There are certain flaws which can be seen as these. The commission has not prescribed any qualification.
like legal, educational, administrative, or judicial, for the members of the Election Commission. Secondly, the Constitution does not specify the term of the members of Election Commission. Thirdly, the Constitution also does not debar the retiring election commissioner from any further appointment by the government. So he can be appointed once he retires from the election commission. So, so these are some of the problematic aspect that comes uh, with regard to the election commission.
And independence of judiciary. Let's talk about the most important aspect of election commission, that is with regard to role and functions of election commission. So we will try to take up one function and try to deal it and try to simplify it and then try to bring out some of the challenges which election commission still faces with regard to these functions. Now, the first important function which we see with regard to election commission is with regard to demarcation of constituencies. So, what does demarcation mean? Demarcation clearly says that it is a process of fixing the limit or the boundary of a territorial constituency. So, the constituency can be either Lok Sabha constituency or it can be in the state. So, this is a first important function which is performed by election commission. So this takes care of the changing nature of demography. As the population increases, so the constituency is also expanded and redrawn, and for that there is a provision for uh, delimitation commission. So we will discuss about whether from very starting point of the constitution there was provision for delimitation commission or not. So, if we see the coming up of Delimitation Commission, it came in 1952, and since then there have been four different acts of the Parliament which has been legislated, and these acts primarily provided powers to Delimitation Commission. So, it was in 1952, then again in 1963, and then again in 1973, and lastly in 2002 the delimitation commission was established through delimitation acts. But before this, the first delimitation exercise was done in 1950 and 51. Then there was no parliamentary legislation through delimitation commission. It was primarily carried out by the president with the help of election commission, as initially the constitution was silent on who would take up this matter of delimiting the territories or constituency. But this was a temporary kind of arrangement which was made, in which president in coordination with election commission started working about delimiting the territory. But this became problematic at it did not amuse many of the other political parties which were there, and therefore the election commission suggested for constitution or establishment of delimitation commission. Therefore we see in 1952 and thereafter there have been establishment of a different delimitation commission year after year. So this plays very important role in limiting the territory, and this body, the order of this body, you know, cannot be called in question in any court. So this body enjoy a very powerful position in that sense. Now, if we see the composition of delimitation commission, so the delimitation commission which was established in 1952 was composed of three members, two of whom were nominated by the president from the serving or retired judges of Supreme Court or High Court, and it also included the other member, the chief election commissioner, which was to be an ex officio member. The last Delimitation Act, which we see in 2002, the composition of this commission was primarily, it included the retired or serving Supreme Court judge. It included a Chief Election Commissioner or Chief Election Commissioner or the Election Commissioner appointed by Chief Election Commissioner, and it also included the respective state election commissioners. So primarily these all composed the Delimitation Commission. The last Delimitation Commission Act was in 2002. So the delimitation exercise which we have seen has happened in the last delimitation exercise we have seen, which started in July 2002 and was completed on May 31st, 2008.